welcome to today's video where I will be showing you the transition from my Scribbles That Matters bullet journal that I started in January of this year into this beautiful Archer and Olive bullet journal that will hopefully take me through December 2019. Also, throughout my video, I'm trying out a few new things in terms of how I'm filming and setup, so if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. And per usual, I'm going to be linking all of my materials and products down below, so be sure to check those out. And now onto the video. I'm starting with my old Scribbles That Matter bullet journal, and I'm making a page to give myself ideas of what spreads I want to move into my new bullet journal and which ones I want to leave. Things like my 2019 goals I'm going to leave and start fresh in 2020 instead of doing something like mid-year goals. And then things like the places I've been spread, I'm going to make a page in my new bullet journal for because I already filled it up in this one. And then I'm also making a little layout plan so I know how many pages I'll be using. Okay, and now it's time to move into the Archer and Olive journal. I've been eyeing these for a very long time, but obviously couldn't start one until I had finished my previous one, but now here we are. It has a really beautiful linen cover with this gold bee foil design, but they also come in all sorts of other colors and designs. My first spread is the index, pretty straightforward. The Scribbles That Matter one already had an index pre-made, and also all the pages were numbered, which was very convenient. This does not, unfortunately, so I guess I'll just have to write in all the page numbers manually as I go, which kind of sucks but also isn't a big deal. I know some people don't even use an index, so it really depends on what you want. My next page here is for grid spacing, and I've actually never tried it before, but I've seen it on Amanda Rach Lee's channel and Instagram, so if she's finding it useful, I thought I would give it a try. Basically, it's a little cheat sheet to help you figure out how many boxes it is to break up your page into halves, thirds, quarters, so on. So when you're making weekly spreads or something like that, you don't have to recount and try to figure out the dimensions of the box you want to make. You can just flip back to this page and see, oh, it's 12 boxes tall if I'm splitting it into thirds. On the opposite page, I'm writing out this quote by Rupi Kaur because I really like the idea of starting a journal or a new month with a quote to set your intention or just to give you inspiration. This one says, "Bloom beautifully, dangerously, loudly, bloom softly, however you need, just bloom." I thought it was really beautiful, but it also has to do with change and growth, which is perfect since I'm leaving for college next month. In my old bullet journal, I decorated my setup in the beginning with these pink floral and leaf designs, and I wanted to continue that aesthetic in this one, so this quote also goes with that. And of course, I had to light this beautiful pink flower candle while I was filming this, because you know, it all goes together. I think it's supposed to be coconut milk and mango, and it smells amazing. I'll link that below if you're interested. I wanted to keep my setup pretty minimal, so I'm only using 2 different pinks and 2 different greens to color in the flower, leaves, and to add some accents. 3 of them are Tombows, numbers 192, 761, and 673, and then the 4th color is that green mild liner that I use for literally everything. Okay, and onto the future log. I'm going to be starting this journal in August, and hopefully it'll last me through December, so that's why I'm only setting up for the next 5 months here. For this entire setup, I'm mainly using the same few pens. For the brush lettering, I'm using my favorite Tombow Fudenosuke hard-tipped brush pen and a .05 Sakura Micron for the fine liner. I also use this handy metal 16 centimeter Muji ruler a lot. It's the perfect size because a full 12-inch ruler is kind of unwieldy to use in a journal like this if you've tried, but this fits perfectly. Next, I'm writing out the calendar dates for each month. It's probably one of my least favorite things to do in bullet journaling, honestly, and if you've watched any of my previous Plan With Me videos, you know that, because I do this for my habit trackers. However, this coming month, so August, I'm going to be trying something a little different for that, so be sure to keep an eye out. I'm using the same pinks and greens from the previous page to highlight here, you know, keep it all one color palette. But then I'm also using my gray Tombow N95 to add a little drop shadow. It's not that noticeable, but I do feel like it adds some dimension. Next is my stuff to check out page where I can write down any recommendations of books, TV shows, movies, music, anything really. That way I have it all in a list so I can keep track of things I've already checked out or get some ideas for things to do when I'm bored. And so if you have any recommendations for these categories, please comment them below. I'd love to hear them. Also, side note, quick hack. You might have noticed I messed up a little when I was doing the banner, but if you take a white gel pen and draw over the mistake, it's hardly noticeable at all. I just use a white Uniball, but I'm sure any kind would work. Just thought I would put that in there. Next is a Places I've Been spread. This one is pretty much exactly the same as the one in my previous journal, and not really much to it. It just has a column for the destination, dates I was there, and then a favorite memory. I did a lot of traveling the first half of the year and filled it up, so it'll be nice to have more space in this journal here. It's also really fun to look back on and remind myself of some good times. Turning the page, I have a wish list just for fun. This is also exactly the same as the wish list in my other journal. Since it's all the same year, 2019, I wanted to keep the theme and feeling consistent, but I'll probably switch it up a little more next year for my 2020 setup. Wow, it seemed so far away, but I guess it's actually kind of close since we're more than halfway through this year. That's crazy. And again, I'm drawing the same flowers and leaves and coloring in with the same 4 pens. My very last page for this setup is theme ideas. I had this in my previous journal, but I'm starting in September this time, and I'm just getting down some ideas, finding some inspiration. I also wanted a little more room because there's so many different theme ideas that I have. Anyway, this spread is pretty simple, but I've actually used it a lot, like when I see other people's themes and think like, oh, that's really cool, maybe I'll do something similar next month or in the future. It also helps me plan ahead, or think about stickers and washi and things like that I might want to keep an eye out for. And here is my final flip through. I had so much fun making this video and I'm really excited for this new journal, so I hope you enjoyed it. You can see all of my posts on my Instagram at A Bullet Journal A Day, and make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks!